What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Today, we're going to talk about the NBA Finals predictions and expectations of myself between the Knicks and the Spurs. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment, tell anyone about the show. I'm trying to get the ratings up a little bit, just a little bit. And if you wonder where you heard this before, that's because you've been listening to me Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I greatly appreciate you. Now, Knicks versus Spurs, 2026 NBA Finals, right? I'm gonna get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm leaning Spurs in 6. Okay, I'm leaning Spurs in 6. Now, keep in mind, history does repeat itself, right? We have had the Knicks versus the Spurs in the NBA Finals before. Now, the last time we saw this, Spurs and Knicks were playing in 1999. That's when they had Tim Duncan, and they acquired their first championship. Now, in a very similar fashion, Victor Wembanyama looks to capture his first championship. A young Victor Wembanyama, by the way. And we're going up against a Knicks team that's actually gelling pretty well. So, a couple, fun facts before and maybe as I tell about the fun facts and the history, right, between these two teams, maybe you'll see why I lean Spurs in 6. But remember that, though. Let's keep this in mind. Now, we just went over the finals history, right? Spurs, Knicks, they've met one time, which was that 1999 season that I talked about, right? And that was the Spurs' first title, actually. So, Timmy and the Spurs first acquired their first championship in 1999, the lockout season, right? Tim Duncan, he did win Finals MVP, 27 points, 14 rebounds. That's not bad. Now, keep in mind, again, we're talking about a 27-year-old rematch. It's one of the longest gaps between Finals rematches in NBA history. Fun fact. The Knicks also have not appeared in an NBA Finals since 1999. So, again, this 27-year-old rematch, it does have some weight to it. The Knicks are back. They're looking promising. They look like, okay, maybe they can be championship contenders or even champions. That's good for the game of basketball, some people say. The Spurs also have they have historically dominated the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Well, not just the Knicks, but the NBA low-key. Because remember, they joined the NBA in 1976, right? But between the Knicks and the Spurs lead the regular season series 60-47. Keep in mind, the Knicks have been around longer, so you would think, in theory, that one of the more prominent NBA teams would be more successful than a team like the Spurs, who's more of like a small market type of place. Keep in mind, San Antonio, again, 68-47. That's a 56% win rate between the meeting of the two teams. Now, we did have an NBA Cup connection, right? Like, they did play this season, if I'm not mistaken. And the Knicks did beat the Spurs that game, and Jalen Brunson was the NBA Cup MVP. We also got the battle of, let's say, stars, right? So you got Victor Wembanyama versus Jalen Brunson. Victor Wembanyama, he's just 22 years old. Jalen Brunson, he's like the veteran superstar who is leading the Knicks, right? You got a nice little supporting cast with Vic as well, too. Keep in mind, they're young, right? This is probably like the best young player team that we've seen, right? And keep in mind, it's some youth versus some, I guess, veterans, if you will, youngish veterans, right? So, kind of a little bit more as to why I think the Spurs are going to win. Game 1, right? And I'm talking about of the regular season, not the playoffs yet. But game 1 of the regular season, Spurs do win a close one, 134-132. Shout out to Julian Champagne for dropping a career-high 36-point that day, okay? And keep in mind, San Antonio did have to rally back and low-key still steal the game. That's a real thing. The second game of the series, though, right? They only played twice. because it would have been because of, well, the Knicks end up winning 114-89. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that's quite a large delta between the two, if I'm being honest with you. So based on that, I know some people are thinking, well, dag, why am I why do I like, huh? Like you're leaning the Spurs over the Knicks, even though the Knicks put real BTA work on these teams. And I do hear that. I genuinely do, right? But you got to remember, a close game is what happens in playoff games. And if you can come back, that means you can find a way to beat a team, and they've already done so. And keep in mind, they just beat the Spurs, just beat the defending champions in the OKC Thunder. Now, when the Knicks did win, Mikal Bridges scored 25. Jalen Brunson only had to give up 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, and keep in mind, too, this is something to note. During that second game, the Spurs were on an 11-game win streak, ladies and gentlemen. Once you hit double digits, that's putting a target on your back, which you already got a target on your back anyways. So, again, just note that, okay? Like, that did matter as well. And they completely dominated defensively. Like, I'm not trying to take away from the Knicks. I'm saying that's part of the way, that's how I kind of view that second game. Like, maybe if they were earlier on in the win streak, who knows? Maybe it would have been a little different. But we see what we see, so that's how I'm reading this. Now, again, if y'all not listening, they both split the season series 1-1, okay? So why do I feel like the Spurs are favored and I guess should be favored too? You know what I'm saying? Like keep in mind, you got Victor Wembanyama, the unanimous DPOY, averaging about 25, 12, and over 3 blocks. A lot of people would say he's a matchup nightmare. Then keep in mind, too, we could talk about the better regular season record, right? The Spurs finished, 62-20, top 3 in offense and defense, and elite net rating, things of that nature, right? They got the deeper core, right? The deeper roster. And that's got a lot of youth with it, too. So, they're going to be moving them puppies. But they got De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson. You even got some vets out there like Harrison Barnes who can move his puppies, too, and also provide a nice little spark for this team as well as a veteran presence. I'm just saying, like, the Spurs, they got waves of athleticism and scoring. And keep in mind, again, they also got the biggest mismatch arguably in NBA history. They also have home court advantage. Something like that does matter, especially, let's say, if they lose a game, they can steal a game away. So I think it's okay having home court advantage personally. Now keep in mind, they are inexperienced. I talked about their youth, right? This is the youngest finals core in the league. Like several players are appearing in their first NBA finals. Hell, some of them are appearing in their first NBA season and playoff. So because of that, do they show up? Do they produce the way that they have been? Those are things to worry about. Also, injuries, even though De'Aaron Fox did play through, right, that ankle injury, what happens if it flares up again, or maybe he tweaked it and he just played through it again? Like, what happens if it gets even further injured? We got to wait and see. Again, injuries are part of the game, but I am noting about D Fox. And again, like I said, these young players slightly unpredictable. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. I don't really put too much stock into the cup game personally, so I ain't gonna act like that's a championship setting or anything like that. And again, keep in mind, it was a 1-game series where this is a potential 7-game series. So I lean the Spurs because of a lot of what I just said. But I'll talk about why you can also expect the Knicks to win too. Because the Knicks can win, keep in mind. Okay, like they got a shot, keep in mind. Jalen Brunson, he been hooping. Like, he has been getting a bucket, a lot of them. Like, I'm talking about, as of right now, he's got to be viewed as one of the best NBA closers right now. Like, he has consistently elevated his game in the playoffs, bro. Like, it is ridiculous. And if the Knicks win, you got to give him finals MVP, which makes me wonder, where does he rank in Knicks history? That would be ridiculous. Hell, if you bring two home, you got to put him, like you may have to throw Buddy number one. I ain't even going to hold you. Two finals MVPs, that could be tough. And keep in mind, too, he got to compete against some really talented players, bro. Like Josh Hart, very cool. I miss Josh Hart, bro, from my Lakers. Mikal Bridges, at one point in time, I was saying he could be all NBA, and he still could because of the game's threshold thing. I'm just saying, if enough people get injured, Mikal, you can make the all NBA team champ. No slap. Like, I'm not even being funny. And then OG Anunoby, who is turning heads like people such like Anne Hathaway. Like, them boys is hooping. All right, keep in mind, Jalen Brunson, I said, was hooping. Can get a bucket. Them three boys I just listed off have been hooping, can get a bucket. And keep in mind, again, you have versatile wings paired with a efficient, at least as of right now, scoring guard who can also play make. And then you got Karl Anthony Towns, who people can talk about how he is. Like, they may say, you know what, he's flamboyant or he talk funny. I don't think that's the case. I think the man can just hoop. Like, he's been playmaking a little bit, passing the ball, getting some assists, keeping the rebounds high, and he ain't got to dominate on scoring. And here's the crazy thing. I think KAT can actually play a huge role in this Spurs matchup. Keep it a stack with you. And also, again, the Knicks have been looking like they've been gelling really well. They have the more veteran players, right? They're a little more seasoned. You might expect them to kind of, want it more, and then I guess to execute more as well, too. Because remember, they've been together technically a little longer, right? They've been gelling a little bit better than the Spurs have. Even though the Spurs have been gelling, don't get me wrong. The Knicks have been looking, in comparison to their competition, a little more dominant. Like, got through 3 rounds in 11 games? That ain't, or 12 games, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Now, again, keep in mind, right? The Knicks don't really have an answer for Wemby. So that does kind of hurt them, not gonna lie to you. Like, KAT's cool. I think KAT's strength, he's also a 7-foot. I think KAT could be a person who might be strong enough to nudge Wemby out of the way. But the problem is, I don't think Mitchell is mobile enough to stop him, like, or even low key contain him. And I'm worried that KAT go get in foul trouble. We can say the same thing about Wemby too, to be clear. But hell, like, KAT might not even need to be guarded by Wemby. Like, you could put Wemby on somebody else and then just patrol the paint or run that zone like they've been doing, like they did against OKC. So you may end up having a forward guarding Karl Anthony Towns. Who guarding Wemby? That's going to be very interesting to see, because I hope you don't try to put Josh Hart on him, because the Thunder just showed, they just showed you Alex Caruso. While a valiant effort, that ain't a good idea, champ. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I said the Spurs, I believe, will win in Game 6 and win another NBA championship. It's crazy I got to root for the Spurs, man. It's crazy. But again, how do they stop Wemby? That is my question. How do they stop Jalen Brunson? Well, I think Jalen Brunson is not better than SGA. I think they both are phenomenal players, right? But Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, I was about to say Dylan Brooks, Dylan Harper, even Devin Vassell and Justin Champagnie, like, even or Julian Champagnie, I mean, even those boys were defending decently. But they have a bevy of players to throw at Jalen, as well as Mikal, as well as Josh Hart, as well as OG Anunoby. And they're able to rebound with them too. So the Knicks aren't going to necessarily have that advantage. And again, those forwards that I was talking about, yeah, they can guard Karl Anthony Towns on the perimeter. And yes, KAT has been playmaking, but again, if you're forcing KAT to be a scorer now, that does take a little bit away from Jalen Brunson. And if you're banking on Jalen Brunson out rebounding Victor Wembanyama, All right, that's cool. I don't see that happening. So again, I think that happens. I think that style of basketball is going to be shown more often. Like, could you get in transition if you're the Knicks? Sure, but guess what? The Spurs have young guns who actually play the game of basketball pretty decently. Now, the Spurs do need to make sure that they win the assist battle or at least tie it or come close. I'm sorry, the turnover battle. And then meaning that they have less or like very close to and even though if it's a little bit higher, right? And win the rebounding battle as well by like a respectable margin, at least like 5-6 rebounds, 8 if you could. 10 would be lovely, and 20 just means you won the game in good fashion, good dominant fashion. But you need to win the rebounding battle as well as the turnover battle, or at least come close to win it. And that's how you get your championship. The first one for Victor Wembanyama. And the Knicks, I ain't gonna lie to you, you just gotta get people in foul trouble and force them into turnovers. Because when they get turnovers, that means you get extra possessions, which means you get extra field goal opportunities, which means you get more chances to get a bucket. So again, I can see the Knicks winning this championship, ladies and gentlemen. I just expect the Spurs to win it in 5. Victor Wembanyama gets his first NBA MVP. De'Aaron Fox, I'm going to be curious how the team views you, whether you win or lose. Because I think there could be you got Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. Eventually, them boys are going to have to be in the starting lineup. And your forwards are looking all right now, too. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to really lose their spot. But do you keep De'Aaron Fox and then have Stephon and Dylan run the 2 and the 3? That could be an interesting lineup. But then who going to get paid? Because someone got to take a pay cut. That's all I'm saying. So, again, I'm very curious how this ends up looking because the younger players, they've been showing themselves as pretty good. So, I mean, hell, Stephon just had a triple-double in game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. I'm just saying. I mean, it was with turnovers, but still, the point is, he played pretty decently. He played pretty smooth, especially for his first conference final. I'm just saying, I'm curious how this team is going to move because right now people are going to be talking about dynasty, especially if they win. Now, if the Knicks win, I'm going to be so annoyed. It's like the Cowboys winning the championship, man. It's going to be annoying hearing the fans because I ain't going to lie. It does bring me a little pride to be able to say that the Knicks championship should be placed on a milk carton because they've only won 2% of the amount of championships that they could have in the NBA's history. And keep in mind, they're one of the oldest NBA teams. I'm just saying that. And they were supposed to be the highest valued franchise. That's ridiculous. But I mean, y'all make it make sense for me. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that does conclude the end of the episode. So I'm curious, who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals in 2026? And then also, who do y'all got for Finals MVP? I'm assuming. Yeah, no, I'm just curious who y'all thinking. Give me your answers. I would love to hear them. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that does conclude the end of the episode. So please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. I hope you're all having a good one. Spurs in 6. Take care.